Did you know that the median home price in the US has skyrocketed by over 50% in the last 5 years alone? Yes, you heard it right. But before we delve into the nitty-gritty of this startling reality, do us a favor and give this video a like. Your support goes a long way in helping us bring you more content like this. Now let's talk houses. Homeownership in the US isn't just about having a roof over your head. Historically, it's been a ticket to wealth accumulation. Why? Because property values in the US have shown a solid trend of appreciation and stability over time. So buying a house didn't just mean having a place to call home, it was also a savvy investment move. But if you're finding it hard to get your foot on the property ladder, you're not alone. Over the past half-century, we've seen a concerning trend where median wages haven't kept pace with the soaring housing costs. This has made it increasingly challenging for lower and middle-income individuals to afford homes. You might wonder why. A big part of the answer lies in the supply side of the equation. The scarcity and high cost of housing are largely attributed to a lack of supply. This is heavily influenced by restrictive zoning laws that limit not just where, but also how homes can be built. Adding to the complexity is the homeowner vacancy rate, which is currently the lowest it's been in decades. This contributes to high home prices, particularly in the lower-cost housing segment, which has become less available over the years. And let's not forget the role of interest rates. High interest rates and the reluctance of current homeowners to sell due to potential higher interest rates on new homes are further factors contributing to the challenges in the US housing market. And unfortunately, these barriers disproportionately affect people of color. So if you're wondering why buying a house seems so hard right now, you're not alone. But understanding the dynamics at play is the first step to navigating this tricky terrain. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into each of these aspects in the upcoming scenes. And remember, knowledge is power. Now, let's talk about money. Over the past 50 years, wages haven't kept up with the rise in housing costs. Imagine you're at the starting line of a race. In your hand, you hold a bicycle, while your opponent revs the engine of a shiny red Ferrari. That's what it feels like for many lower and middle-income individuals trying to buy a home in today's market. In the past half-century, we've seen a significant disparity in the growth of median wages compared to the skyrocketing costs of housing. To put it simply, our paychecks aren't stretching as far as they used to. The house that your grandparents could afford on a single income in the 70s? Well, let's just say you might need a few extra roommates to make the same dream a reality today. In fact, from the 70s to the early 2020s, housing prices have increased by a whopping 112% after adjusting for inflation. Meanwhile, median wages have only risen by about 15%. That's less than a sixth of the rate at which housing costs have grown. This wage housing cost disparity is not just a number-crunching exercise, it has real-life implications. It means that for many, the dream of owning a home is becoming increasingly elusive. It's not just about having a roof over your head, but it's also about wealth accumulation and financial security. Homeownership has traditionally been a stepping stone to the middle class, a symbol of stability, and a means to build wealth. But when wages don't keep pace with housing costs, this stepping stone becomes more of a stumbling block. So, what does this mean for aspiring homeowners? It means that the path to homeownership is more challenging than ever, especially for lower and middle-income individuals. It's like trying to buy a ticket for a blockbuster movie, but the price keeps going up every time you reach for your wallet. In conclusion, the wage housing cost disparity is like trying to win a race with a bicycle against a Ferrari. And until we address this disparity, the dream of homeownership will remain just that, a dream for many Americans. What's more, there's a scarcity of houses in the market, and it's not because we've run out of bricks or land. Imagine this, you're ready to buy a house, you've saved up, got your finances in order, but there just aren't enough houses to go around. It's like a game of musical chairs where there are more players than chairs. Now why is that? Well, it's not because we're short on materials or space, it's mostly due to restrictive zoning laws. These laws determine where and how homes can be built. They're like the rule book for the game of housing construction. Want to build a high-rise in a residential area? Sorry, the rule book says no. Want to convert a single-family home into a duplex to accommodate more people? Once again, the rule book gives a thumbs down. These zoning laws have made it so that the supply of houses just can't keep up with the demand. Now you might be thinking, why don't we just change the laws? Well, that's easier said than done. Many of these laws were put into place decades ago, and changing them would require a lot of time, effort, and political will. Plus, there's often resistance from current homeowners who fear that changes could affect their property values. So, what's the result of this supply and demand imbalance? High housing costs. It's basic economics, really. When supply is low and demand is high, prices go up. And these costs aren't just high, they're sky high. The scarcity of houses is like a domino effect. Fewer houses mean higher prices, which in turn makes it harder for people, especially those in the lower and middle income brackets, to afford a home. It's a cycle that keeps spinning, and breaking it is no easy task. It's like going to a supermarket with only a handful of overpriced items on the shelves. And just like at the supermarket, you can't just decide to not buy a house because it's too expensive. After all, everyone needs a place to live. But with the way things are going, it's becoming increasingly difficult to find that place. Adding to the woes, the homeowner vacancy rate in the US is at its lowest in decades. This might sound like a good thing, right? Fewer vacant homes mean more people are finding places to live. But here's the catch. A low homeowner vacancy rate can actually make it much harder to buy a home, particularly for those looking for lower-cost housing. Let's break it down. The homeowner vacancy rate is the proportion of homeowner housing units that are vacant and for sale. Think of it as a measure of supply in the market. When the rate is low, it means fewer homes are available for sale. Now pair this scarcity with high demand, and you've got a recipe for skyrocketing prices. In fact, this low vacancy rate is one of the key factors contributing to the high home prices we're seeing today, especially in the lower-cost housing segment. If you've been house hunting recently, you've probably noticed that affordable homes are becoming as rare as hen's teeth. This isn't just your imagination. Lower-cost housing has indeed become less available over the years thanks to this low homeowner vacancy rate. But this isn't just about numbers and rates. It's about real people, real families who are finding it increasingly hard to find a home that fits their budget. It's about the dream of homeownership slipping away for many, as the market becomes dominated by luxury and high-end homes. So, the next time someone mentions the low homeowner vacancy rate, remember, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's a significant factor fueling the affordability crisis in the US housing market. It's like wanting to buy a car, but there's only one available in the entire city, and guess what? It's a luxury model. Imagine wanting to buy a car, but there's only one available in the entire city, and it's a luxury model. So stay tuned as we delve deeper into the challenges of the US housing market in the next scene. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into building wealth. Lastly, high interest rates and the reluctance of current homeowners to sell are throwing another wrench in the works. High interest rates can feel like a relentless beast, stalking the dreams of potential homeowners. They're like that annoying neighbor who insists on mowing their lawn at 7 in the morning on a Saturday, disrupting your peaceful slumber. Every percentage point increase in interest rates can significantly bump up the cost of borrowing to buy a home. To put it in perspective, a 1% increase on a $200,000 mortgage could add around $100 to your monthly payment. That's an extra $1,200 a year, or the equivalent of a really nice vacation you're missing out on. Now, imagine being a current homeowner, comfortably nestled in your home with a low mortgage rate. You might want to move, but the thought of a higher mortgage rate on a new home can be as appealing as a root canal without anesthesia. This hesitation to sell contributes to a lack of available homes on the market, further pushing up prices in a vicious cycle. It's like being stuck in a never-ending game of musical chairs where the music has stopped. But there aren't enough chairs for everyone. And here's a sobering fact. These barriers disproportionately affect people of color. Systemic issues, including discrimination and a historical lack of access to credit, have left a lasting impact. The high interest rates and lack of available homes aren't just problems. They're symptomatic of a much larger issue, reflecting deep-rooted inequalities in our society. So, if you've been struggling to buy a house, remember that it's not you, it's the market. Like trying to win a pie-eating contest after a Thanksgiving feast, sometimes the deck is just stacked against you. But don't lose hope. Armed with knowledge and a little patience, you can navigate through these challenges. And remember, every cloud has a silver lining, even if it's currently obscured by the high-interest rate beast and his annoying lawn mower. So, we've taken a deep dive into why buying a house in the US is so hard right now. From the stark wage housing cost disparity to restrictive zoning laws, scarcity of supply, low homeowner vacancy rates and high interest rates, the deck seems stacked against potential home buyers. And these challenges, sadly, disproportionately affect people of color. But remember, knowledge is power. Understanding these factors can help navigate the complexities. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about building wealth, Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Thanks for watching.